Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Horse Racing Enthusiast on Teesside, Ste&Dee. I know I look like a bag of shit. And to be honest, I absolutely feel like it. Look, today has been an unmitigated disaster. There's no getting away from it. I've always been honest with you, haven't I? I've always fronted up, even on the really bad days. Now, we've had 3 places, so what? 13 to 2, 6 to 1, 5 to 1. But the rest of them have been an absolute catastrophe, to say the very least. I expected 2 or 3 winners today, I'm not going to lie. I fancied Sea Legend, I fancied Halifon, and I also fancied Catch Cunningham, which hasn't ran yet, of course. And I fancied Asad Jamira. So 4 really fancied today, and absolutely nothing. Just 3 places, 3 thirds. Look, tomorrow I'm just going to do, I'm going to knock the long shot on the head tomorrow. There's a couple of decent long shots in the ones I'm going to give you anyway on the 4-step system, which is the points, where you get points for different things, mainly to do with money won, placed or won. So I've done that, and that's took me longer than I would normally, but that's I keep blowing my nose and it's like a flu basically, but obviously it hasn't completely floored me, but it's not far off. So tomorrow I've only done the 4-step system. I will do tomorrow morning. I will have a look at the back form. I'm going to leave the long shot alone. I've been really frustrated and disappointed with that in the last 2 days. I know some of them were massive prices today, so really we shouldn't have expected them to come in anyway. But disappointed with Bosch and Outrun the Storm. I did think both of them would have a chance of a good place. It wasn't to be. These days happen. We've had a good run. We've now had 2 really bad days. I've lost 14 quid in the last 2 days, unless Catch Cunningham wins tonight. If it wins, then I'll only be £1 down. But yeah, disappointing to say the very least today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine this video with tomorrow's selections from the 4-step system. I've covered your results there. There's nothing else to cover. Like I say, there's Catch Cunningham to come at 8:30. I'm keeping everything crossed for that. You'd have to say the 4-step system, it's only had 4 horses today, 2 thirds, 13 to 2, 6 to 1, so I don't suppose that's too bad. And if Catch Cunningham gets placed, that would be 3 out of 4. Back form, very poor. Well, actually, no, 2, because there was Halifon and Asad Jamira, so 2 there as well. But the long shots, dear. They're probably still running, to be honest. Anyway, let's move on to tomorrow, shall we? We've got the 4-step horses. The points tallies, of course, they all point and have a gap over the nearest rivals. Well, I'm going to give you that gap and a couple of other little pointers to watch out for. So here we go. Here's your selections for the 4-step system from the Horse Racing Enthusiast on 21st of the 1st, which is Wednesday. We're going to start at Lingfield in the 2:38. Number 7 on the race card, It's Showtime. It's Showtime. It's a distance winner. It is 167 points clear of its nearest rival in the race, and it's a long shot price at 14 to 1. So sort of not bad really. It's combined the long shot and the 4-step really there, and it's way ahead, isn't it, of its nearest rival there. 250 points. It's on the nearest to it, 83. So yeah, big gap there. Right, Lingfield 3:38. Mr. Moe or Moet. It's a distance winner. It is 100 to 30. It is 38 points above its nearest rival, so it's quite a tight race, but there's a lot of unexposed horses as well in that one that hasn't won a race. so quite a difficult one to calculate, that one. But at the moment, Mr. Moe stands as the standout horse, and at the price it is 130, it's certainly obviously in with a chance. Right, moving on to 408 at Lingfield. Oh, Mr. Moe, by the way, was top weight. 408 at Lingfield, number 3 on the race card. Best rate, 7 to 1, so not a bad price. A distance winner, Hannon and Levy as your trainer and jockey, and 86 points above its nearest rival, which is considerable. Not unsurmountable, but considerable distance between that and the next one. And as I say, not a bad price at 7 to 1, best rate. The reason why I'm doing these, I think this is the most consistent system at the moment, the 4-step system, and as I said earlier on in the year, right at the beginning of the year, I wanted consistency. We've had 2 really bad days where it's really hit us hard with the losers and has knocked the figures that I put out the other day. That's really stung the figures. But we only, if we'd have got a 20 to 1 winner a day, then we'd have been happy because we'd have been up. So it's as simple as that. It's such small margins. You could back 12 horses in a day, 20 to 1 winner, you're up. 16 to 1 winner, you're up. It's just we've not had those winners. We've had a few places, just not enough or not big enough to make any difference. So there we go. Right, so moving on to the 5:30 at Kempton. So moving on to Kempton now. Cayman Tie, number 9 on the race card. It is 235 points ahead of its nearest rival. It's on 398. The nearest to it is 163. So massive difference there. It's 11 to 2, so not a bad price. Good trainer in Hannon, decent jockey in Greatrix. Not a bad choice at all, I don't think, from the system there. And that's Cayman Tie in the Kempton 5:30. Right, moving on to the Kempton 7 o'clock. Bottom weight on the race card, number 8. Panelli, 7 to 2, 154 points above its nearest rival. A distance winner, Stuart Williams and Marco Gianni as the trainer and jockey. Good combination, successful combination, good price for the horse, certainly well fancied. Who knows tomorrow whether it can get to Northern Line, and bottom weight, which we do like. And your last one on the 4-step system tomorrow is number 3 on the race card in the 7:30. Son of Man, 8 to 1, so not a bad price at all. Only 24 points above its nearest rival, but then it's 173 then between that second one and the next one, so a massive gap there. Could be worth a forecast between the number 1 and number 3, but realistically I don't think 1's a very decent price. You'd have to put a reasonably decent reverse forecast on to get anything back. So that's Son of Man, Kempton 7:30, second last time out, and like I said, it's 173 over the third choice, but only 24 points over the second choice. That is your horses for the 4-step system for tomorrow, the 21st, Wednesday the 21st of January. Good luck if you're having a bet. I will be having a look tomorrow morning at the back form horses, not touching the long shots tomorrow, or certainly not putting any out. I probably can't even be bothered to look at them really at the minute. So disappointed with them in the last 2 days. I know some of them were massive today and I didn't really expect them. We shouldn't have expected them anyway. But there were certainly 2 or 3 that I expected to do something. They really did not. Thanks for watching the Horse Racing Enthusiast on Teesside Ste&Dee. Good night. God bless.